Perfect. Okay. Okay. Can you introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
So my name is Erica R. Woodard, and I am the inventor and CEO of My Satin Dreams, the beauty sleep system that's replacing your old and ordinary, I would say unreliable satin pillowcases that we're using today. Satin pillowcases are broken. I didn't just fix them, I replaced them. My Satin Dreams is a game changer. It is going to redefine how women sleep today. I invented My Satin Dreams because there's a need for it.
What makes My Satin Dreams different from any other satin pillowcases?
To answer that question, I think we have to go back to what the problem is. So basically we use, scarves or bonnets or satin pillowcases so that we can protect our hair. Unfortunately, they never stay on. They slip off, you get a horrible night's sleep. It's so funny, we even double up. Like everybody who wears a bonnet today, we know in order to keep it on, sometimes we use a scarf and a bonnet. Sometimes we use a bonnet and a satin pillowcase, but nonetheless, it's not gonna stay and we're just wasting money. I created it so that it could stay on the bed, so that it has full coverage. And the full coverage, it comes from when you have a satin pillowcase, it's gonna cover your pillows. It's not going to cover, your bed. So I have My Satin Dreams, which is bed base versus a pillowcase that's a pillow base. So now it's gonna stay on your bed because it just goes over like a fitted sheet. My Satin Dreams is amazing because it's just as reliable as the women who sleep on them. The problem that My Satin Dreams solves is what I call nightly routine frustrations, or NRF. Women, especially women of color, they go to sleep and they have their bonnets on and they're gonna wake up and it's gonna be on the floor. So they're spending all of this money and all this time and frustration trying to keep it on, whether they're tying their heads in, a scarf or a bonnet or putting on pillowcases. All of these things are failing us basically. So My Satin Dreams, I invented so that the concept is it stays on your bed. So that's like the number one thing. It's gonna stay on your bed. It's gonna let you get a good night's sleep.
What's the main feature that makes this product unique?
There's so many different features that makes this product unique. I'll just touch on 3. One is travel. It's a really great size so that you could just fold it up, put it in your bag. And the great thing is once you get to the hotel, you just put it over the existing sheets and use the hotel pillows inside so that you can get a comfortable night's sleep. So 2 is the material, because we use 100% bridal satin. So this is something that a bride wears and she walks down. It's thick, but it still can be thrown into the washer machine and it lasts for years. It's gonna protect your lashes, it's gonna protect your hair, it's gonna protect your skin, it's hypoallergenic. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you don't know the benefits of satin, look it up. And then the number one thing is that it's going to stay in place without any effort. You're gonna just fall into protection when you go to sleep. It's just going to wrap you in luxury. So I say, don't wrap your head, wrap your bed.
Can you talk a little bit more about how it can improve the sleep experience?
Mm-hmm. Every night you're just so fearful that you're gonna wake up. I mean, it's in movies. I think it was in Friday where you see Regina Hall and she's trying to sleep and she doesn't wanna, get her hair messed up. So that was one. I just wanted to eliminate that frustration from everybody. Us as women, we go to sleep and it's okay to wear your bonnet. I think we're all accepted that we can wear our bonnet. But what about the nights where you want to be beautiful, like Christmas and birthdays and Valentine's Day? You want to have it out and flowing and be beautiful and, but you still want to be protected.
Was there a moment when the idea and concept really clicked for you?
So I'm from Philadelphia. And I moved here about 13 years ago to Arizona, and I have a family full of hairdressers and they always did my hair. And when I got here, I didn't have that anymore. So I relied on satin pillowcases to keep my hair from being frizzy and unmanageable. And when I got here, I started losing my edges, and that's a no-no. The day I knew that I was gonna make My Satin Dreams, or what made me make it, is I woke up, one eye open as a lot of us do, and we look on the floor and we go, oh my God. It's on the floor again. I can't take this anymore. So then I just started writing a list of everything that was wrong and I wanted to solve the problem. It's simplistic. It's nothing in depth about it. Mm-hmm. The material is not the problem. It's not satin. The problem is in the design. So you have to fix the design. There wasn't an option for me to do it unless I wanted to look like Godzilla, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I'm trying to figure out how to say that, like, but be politically correct. Like, you know, for me, it wasn't an option because I wasn't going to walk around with no edges. Like, that's just, you know, I wanted to make sure that my hair was healthy, it stayed healthy. And especially when you get older, you want to make sure that you know, you're finding the material that's going to fix the wrinkles, you know, that you can put your head on it and just feel comfortable that you're being taken care of, right? And I love my Satin Dreams because I feel like it's a baby of my grandfather who taught me how to sew. And then my father who taught me how to take care of my hair. He would always say, I don't just work on the head, I work in the head. He would say that all the time. My background is another reason I think, you know, that made me say, okay, I'm going to do this because I understand the concept. So my grandfather was completely instrumental because he grew, when I tell you he started his cleaners in 1941, for those of you who don't know, it was during the Depression, and he's saying, you know what, I had the courage to open up a cleaners during the Depression where people didn't want to spend their money, but I was going to tell them all the reasons why they needed, you know, to have a cleaners, meaning that, okay, so you have a pair of pants, instead of buying new ones, I'll fix it for you. Okay, and you know, it's better to clean them because it'll last longer. So he really instilled in me the need. When you have your grandfather, he's your granddad, and you don't realize just who he is to society. Yeah. And I remember walking into my dad's shop one day, and I saw Kenny Gamble, who is the owner of a label called the Philadelphia Sound, and he has done everything. But he just comes and he tells me, he's like, hey, I'm who I am because of your grandfather. I remember walking the street and saying, your grandfather owned every house on that block. And if Mr. Woodard could do it, so can I. And man, that it put into perspective just how, you know, loved my grandfather was and inspired a whole bunch of people. And that's amazing.
How does your father's work and creativity influence the way you think?
It's so funny when you say the way that you think. Going into his hair salon, first of all, I wasn't even permitted. It was like a men's thing back in the day. But when I was a little child and I, you know, had to come in, the thing that influenced me most was just seeing the camaraderie. You could hear the scissors cut, you could hear the questions, you could hear a sense of community. And that touched me more than anything. It was like, oh, this is what my dad does all day. I think the significant difference between my father and the last two generations of entrepreneurs is that he took it a step further. He, you know, did patents, and, you know, he taught me how to do patents. But the most amazing part is that he was a pillar in the community that just brought everybody from the neighborhood. And I'm talking about people from, you know, your average person who's going to sell a paper at the corners, all the way up to Michael Jackson, who was like, you know what, I want to come into the Woodard's hairstyling and get my hair done at Woodard's hairstyling before a concert. So they called him Barber to the Stars. And man, I saw everybody from Muhammad Ali to Nina Simone, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Kenny Gamble. It was just so amazing to see him work, and not only work, but for them to consult him. What do you think, Woody? His name was Woody, I'm sorry. What do you think? What do you think? And I was like, this is really amazing. So yeah.
In what ways do you feel like your family history lives inside the product you created?
In every stitch. Every stitch I can hear my grandfather say, you know, you can do this by hand. You don't have to have a sewing machine. Yeah, it's in every stitch, because I can hear him saying that. I can hear my father, you know, when you ask me, is he still alive? Yeah, he's still here. He's 75 years old, and he's still in the barbershop. And he's, you know, when I presented my Satin Dreams to him, he was amazed. He was on the floor and he was like, you made this? You know, and his whole thing is, if you have a good foundation, you can wake up to take on the world. So I told him that when I showed it to him.
What does it mean to you to be a fourth generation entrepreneur? You know, I know that that's super important to you, and you wear that proudly on your chest.
You have that much legacy over your head. For me, it was, okay, now you have to pass the torch. What are you going to do to enhance the story that's already been written? And that's not a small feat, right? the responsibility to carry it forward, because again, if not me, who? And God said, here, I'm going to give you an idea. Here's an idea, because everybody doesn't get those, right? So once you have it, I feel like it's really important for you not to shy away. I hear a lot of people say, I have this great idea, and then they don't do anything with it. I'm like, why? No. It's going to change the world. Do it. So I heard that voice in my mind, and I heard all the other generations, but you have to, you're moving it forward, right? You have a 9-to-5 job, but then you still have your business, then you have your children, and you have your husband. And man, you have all of these things, and you have to manage them. You cannot let any of those things fall.
You know, you described yourself on the phone as the Princess of Philly, and what does that mean to you, and kind of how did you get that nickname?
So the Princess of Philly came, funny enough, before Will Smith, the Fresh Prince or whatever. The Princess of Philly came because I was the only girl in the 70s or 80s with my dad, and they would say, oh, there goes Woody's daughter. And then Woody's daughter turned in, oh, that's the little Woodard girl. And everywhere I would go, I would hear, oh, that's the little Woodard girl. And it came to my mind. I said, my father is a king, okay? It's not just about, okay, I'm a princess, because yeah, you can say I'm a princess, but my thing that I say to people is that you can only be a princess if you come from a king, period. And that's what made me the Princess of Philly, because I came from 4 generations of kings.
How has Philadelphia shaped you as a woman and an entrepreneur today?
Okay, so I know I say a lot of things about lineage and my father, my grandfather, but my dad would always say, I could take you to Beverly Hills if I want to, but I want to make sure that you're forged in grit, which Philadelphia is definitely makes you forged in grit, but polished with love and presented to the world. That's just one of the things I think that Philly prepares you for everything in life. You know how they say, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere in Manhattan or New York or whatever. Philadelphia is definitely raised in grit, polished in love, and presented to the world. Because it makes you rough around the edges. I could have been, sheltered and not given the experience to have to fight to not just take no for an answer, period. Like I think Philadelphia definitely, makes you ready for the world in that aspect. And you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to take no. I'm going to keep going forward.
Along your journey, what challenges have shaped you the most?
This question is definitely near and dear to my heart. And I know that I wrestled with myself with wanting to expose it, but I think that it's necessary so that people don't think that life is wrapped up in a bow. But before I became who I am today, I was a teenage mom, and I had my son at a very young age, and it was a time that wasn't so pretty. When you talk about legacy and you talk about, legacy is a word that we describe basically our family members, and we don't want to let them down, right? So when you have to tell your parents and your grandparents, hey, I'm off the beaten track. I need help. You have a teenage child. You can either wallow in it, you can sit there and you can let it eat you up. But when we talk about coming from Philly and that grit, man, that phrase, you can only go up from here, really applies. So you say to yourself, I'm going to be the best mom I'm going to be. I'm going to turn this situation into an experience. I know it's hard to think of it as an experience like that, but like turn it into an experience that you can say, I won. It didn't beat me. So I'm going to tell you about my experience, because I am here to tell you I didn't let it kill me back then. And being a mom at such a young age is a huge responsibility. It's a huge responsibility that you have to, yeah. And I had my mom and my dad, and they were married, and my grandparents were married. I had all of these married, couples to look up to, but now I have to raise my son as a single mom and as a teenage single mom. So I get a little choked up at that, but my son is amazing. And at first I was devastated, just you think you let those people down, But those people know you're going to make mistakes. They know, God knows you're here to make mistakes. So once you come to grips with, you know what, it's a lesson, it's not a mistake, I'm moving forward. I had a chance to talk to a really great mentor, and he told me that life is like a boxing match. And he said, it's not, just the fact that you get knocked down and you get back up. It's about the bell's going to ring again. Okay. And you got to show up for that bell. Are you going to, show up defeated, or are you going to show up strong? How are you going to show up for that bell? He used to say that all the time, because guess what? There's another bell after that and another one after that. So you want to make sure that after every lesson you learn, you let it go, and you move on to the next one. So growing up with a great, wonderful mom and a wonderful dad, I was loved a lot. So they didn't scream, they didn't yell, but they whispered, you're a winner. Everything you do, you win. Even when you lose, you win. You're a winner. So that just kept me going. But they said it like a mantra, you're a winner, no matter what. Oh, this happened. Maybe you failed the test. That's okay, because you're a winner, you're going to do better next time, right? So
I love that.
I wish my mom was still here, but because she passed in 2013, it gets me, because I'm talking about all these people who, they're really great, but she worked from 16 to 61 in the VA hospital. She worked up to the day she passed away. And I could go to her with anything, and say, hey, I need you for this. And she would show up. Yeah, so she was when I say she's America, she was the backbone, because she showed up every day. She showed me how to show up every day. So my mom and dad together, I understand them, because they were yin and yang, but they always showed up. I'm just fighting to show up. I'm fighting to be there, to be in the marketplace, to, instead of being pushed behind, to be able to say, hey, my name is Erica Woodard, and I invented my Satin Dreams, the beauty sleep system, because it's totally superior. You're never going to find anything on the market as complete as my Satin Dreams. And not just from me making it, but experience. I sleep on it every night, and as soon as you see and feel the difference, you're not gonna want anything else. I really want to conquer the gatekeepers. I want to, recall something and call them the key makers, so that we're actually going to get in. You have Tupac, where he's like singing about knocking on the door. I don't know if you've heard that, where he's like, I want to bust in, I want to blaze in. And that's how I feel. Like, I don't want to be gatekeeped anymore. I want to get to the top. I want to see how far I can push my Satin Dreams, because A, I know it's necessity, and B, I know what they have doesn't work. Because I come from a family of legacy, success looks like me passing the baton. That's what it looks like to me. I want to be able to give a wonderful product and a wonderful business to my children, so that they can give it to their children and have a story to tell.
What kind of impact do you want this business to have beyond sales?
So we are partnering with Children's Hospital, where we're going to give 100 My Satin Dreams to the Children's Hospital for kids that are in there for cancer. Like my niece, she had Crohn's, and she always was in, the hospital, and we would go visit her. And the number one thing is her pillow would slide down. Oh, let me pick your pillow up. Oh, let me, so I wanted to give this beautiful product to the children who have to be there, for them to feel beautiful in their time of need, and not have to worry about their pillow falling down, that they can just, lean back and be protected and feel protected. So we're going to give like different colors to the sick kids that are in the hospital. So we just want to make them feel special and loved and protected. And My Satin Dreams does all of those things.
Why is it important for you to continue the legacy and pass something down to the next generation?
So we talked about moving the culture forward, and allowing Black women, brown women, women of color, women with C4 hair, kinky hair. We have the ability to show up in the market. That's the number one thing. Is right now, I don't believe that there's anything in the market that we show up in. And again want to show up in the market, show up and show out in the market. So that's it. It's bigger than me for sure. And how I see it is that you have the Mount Rushmore, right? I want to be one of the people on Mount Rushmore. I don't want to just be in the background. I want to forge my face. And it's amazing because you have what we talked about, the three kings, but I want to become that queen. And I think that this solidifies, I can actually pass the business down to, the next generation and then step into my retirement and, just be that grandma. That's how I see my life. Yeah.
You can have the you time.
Me time. Yeah. It's like, let's go to grandma's house. She lives in Bermuda.
What are you building beyond the product itself?
If I tell you I invented something that's redefining beauty sleep, that's going to be the end of the era of the satin pillowcase, and I can say I did it, I make myself immortal. And I love that part. I love to be able to say that I was here, here's my footprints, and if you want to follow, go ahead. Yeah.
And then what do you hope people remember about your story?
The ups and downs, the ebb and flows, the give and take. I just want them to be able to say that it can be done. That's just it. And do it your way. I want people to understand that there are a gazillion paths. Pick one. Don't let life happen to you. That's it. That's all I want to see. That's it.